So welcome to Strange Paths, a podcast where we read Choose Your Own Adventure style stories. We
I'm
are
Stephanie.
Your hosts. That was Stephanie. I'm Paul.
I'm Megan.
And today we are reading another tale in the saga that is from Sean.
The
who you
fourth
may know.
member.
Yeah, the fourth member, basically.
The unofficial fourth member.
He's written more than I have probably at this point.
Who you may know from Twitter at Star Trek Posted.
Mm-hmm. I'm so excited. We've had Pepperoni the Turtle. We've had the one that didn't have a title at first, but then I forgot the title of what it is. What is it?
Zombie thing. Is that it?
Yes, the zombie one.
The zombie. Was it called the zombie one?
And our story today is titled Waterlily.
Can't wait.
Oh man. A continuation? We get more pepperoni?
It could be a continuation. We'll have to see.
I love pepperoni.
It could just be another completely different character named Waterlily.
Is she in love with someone else? Oh, wait.
How could she?
She could be in love with sausage or pineapple
Oh, yeah.
Or Garglock.
or garglock.
No.
I'm not familiar with that topping, but
I really like just eating just pepperonis. You know, just plain out of the little bag.
that's so interesting.
Email us about how you like eating pepperonis out of the bag.
Email me.
Why does it have to be out of a bag?
Well, how else? I mean, have you ever had pepperoni that wasn't either on a pizza or out of that little Totino's? What's the brand? I don't remember. That little bag.
No. I just
With that
I like
little
to
thing
think
they
that
put in
like
purses.
you refuse to eat it unless you get to put it in like a little grocery bag.
You gotta
Like
get
you
it out of the
you
bag.
get your pizza slice and you pick off all the pepperoni and put it in the bag
And
for
I put
later.
it in a feed bag, which I tie to my face.
There you go.
Yes.
Anyway, Waterlily.
All right, yes, let's continue the story.
Wow.
Mommy! Waterlily kept her eyes closed and tried to keep from smiling. Mommy!
Oh, baby pepperoni?
Elijah butted his head against Waterlily's shell. Waterlily could no longer keep her smile to herself, and she grinned at the little turtle. What is it, baby? We have to find Tishbite! Waterlily gasped. Where's your sister gone? Swimming in a circle, Elijah giggled and lied. I don't know.
Oh, he's mysterious. So I guess they did not, pepperoni did not have any say in the name.
I don't know.
Maybe he hates his name, so he was like, no, we're going to get a normal name, a non-food name. Why isn't it pizza?
Yeah.
Why isn't it little calzone?
Well, pizza was his father's name.
So what is his child's name?
Yeah, I don't know. What's
diarrhea?
below pepperoni. Diarrhea. Yeah, there we go.
Extra cheese.
I don't know. He snorted a little and swam off. Tishbite and Elijah only knew one hiding place. They hid there every morning. Waterlily slowly approached a giant mountain of a turtle. Garglock, have you seen Tishbite? Garglock stretched his neck and winked at Elijah, who giggled some more. Well, no, but I have seen a big leech with a shell this morning.
Oh, nasty.
Oh, my favorites.
Elijah laughed so hard he coughed up some water, and from behind Garglock strutted a young turtle. Lock, I'm not a leech. You're not? Garglock blinked. No, I'm a turtle. Oh, but you're so small.
Oh.
I'm a cute turtle.
Does he have candy in his shell for all the little turtles to find?
Oh,
He
I bet he
might.
does.
She kicked Garglock, who laughed. Okay. I stand corrected, young Tishbite. The two young turtles swam to Waterlily and in unison asked,
What are we
What are we
going to do
today? Waterlily looked over her children, who were like 2 weeks old at this point. Today we're going to learn how to hunt crawfish.
Crawdaddies.
Ooh. The young turtle splashed with excitement. Hello! From atop a rock slid Pepperoni.
Hello.
Daddy!
Was he doing jazz hands?
Elijah and Tishbite rushed to meet their father. Waterlily took a deep breath and held it in for a moment. Guess what? Pepperoni said between pursed lips. Huh?
Got like Sebastian.
Oh. Guess what? Pepperoni said between pursed lips. Huh? Tishpipe looked confused at Pepperoni. He smiled, and out from his mouth spilled 6 freshly killed crawfish.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Guess what?
Wait, how big is he?
I brought breakfast.
Crawfish are big.
The hatchlings yelped in joy as they gobbled up the crawfish. Pepperoni looked slyly at Waterlily and made his way to her. Well, hello. Your shell is looking nice today.
Hey, sailor.
You brought crawfish? She stared past Pepperoni. I brought crawfish, Pepperoni said proudly. Pepperoni? Waterlily concentrated on her breathing. Before we went to bed last night, what did I tell you?
Oh, dang.
Uh-oh, he fucked up.
Pepperoni watched his children pull apart the crustaceans. Am I a provider or what?
He is so oblivious.
Pepperoni! Waterlily screamed. What did I tell you?
Didn't scream.
Well, you said that you wanted... Pepperoni thought about it, trying to remember. You said you wanted to teach the babies how to hunt, but then we agreed that they were too young for that. We agreed? Waterlily towered over Pepperoni, her eyes wide with rage, and from the corner of her eye, she saw Tishbite and Elijah watching.
We've all had this discussion, haven't we, ladies?
Yeah. I mean, so many mornings I wake up, and Steven comes in and barfs a bunch of crawfish into the bed, and I'm like, what did I tell you last night?
I wanted cricket to learn how to hunt.
She let out a deep breath and returned to the water. The small turtles swam back to their mother, treading on either side of Pepperoni. Mommy, now that we've eaten, what are we going to do today? Pepperoni sunk a little, so just his head poked out of the water, and he said in his smallest voice, Yeah, Mommy, what are we going to do today?
That is adorable. How can she stay mad at Pepperoni?
She
You
can
have
say
2
that.
choices. You can respond with, We're going for a trip today without Daddy on page 3.
No way.
Or, Let's ask Daddy what we should do on
Fuck
page
that.
21.
Both those choices are terrible.
I'm pissed at Dad. He doesn't get to come.
You're pissed. But
Yeah.
he's Pepperoni.
You don't listen to me.
Pepperoncini.
He needs
So no
to learn.
Daddy?
We've been having problems for a while.
Fine, we'll leave Daddy behind.
Okay.
Fuck Daddy. Get him out of here. Nobody clip that.
Come along, children. Waterlily seethed through clenched teeth.
Is there a question mark?
We're going for a long trip without your father.
A long trip.
Oh, dang.
Pepperoni was stunned and watched the 3 of them swim off.
Oh.
Well, Pepperoni swayed in the wave created by Garglock's mass. Are you going to follow her? Pepperoni nodded and gave chase. Waterlily turned and headed him off. Hey, what are you doing, Waterlily? Where are you going? She sighed. Kids, go and play for a moment, but don't wander too far. She looked back to her mate. Pepperoni, this isn't working. Pepperoni pleaded. What? Because I brought breakfast? I'm really sorry. I honestly thought we agreed they were too little to... Stop, Pepperoni. Just stop.
This is upsetting me.
Waterlily looked down at Pepperoni. She tried to think of the good times, but they eluded her. She stared at his lined face and could not remember a single good memory.
Oh, he's wrinkly now? Or is he talking about the lines of a turtle? Like, oh.
It could be either. We're leaving. We're going to think about this. We'll be back in a few days.
Oh my god.
Have fun with Garglock.
Dang.
And she turned and swam away, the children following close behind, giggling and splashing. Waterlily
Oh, they're so
fought
dumb.
the urge to look behind. This was the time to look to the future, not the past. Where are we going, Mommy? Elijah asked. She doesn't know, dummy, Tishbite teased. Hush, Tishbite. We're going either to the beach or downriver.
Which one would make you miss Pepperoni the most?
Well, in the last story, he was
Beach?
mostly in the river.
Maybe you'll go back to the scene of the crime.
Yeah, no. What do you want?
I think the beach.
Well, you know what? I think downriver.
What?
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Paper!
Scissors!
The beach it is. Tishbite, we're going to the beach. Follow Mommy. Waterlily swam towards shore. Tishbite and Elijah splashed and giggled behind her. Soon, they found their way to the beach. Wow, look at the sand! Elijah shook his feet and crawled up the beach without hesitation. He needs to be more careful, Tishbite echoed Waterlily's thoughts precisely. Elijah, come back. We need to stick together on land.
Oh, he's going to get snatched up by a sea turtle.
This
No, not a sea turtle. A seagull.
This was the kids' first foray into land. Sure, they have basked on stones, but this would be the first time they would walk for long distances. Elijah listened to his mother and scuttled back. I like the sand. It's very warm on my feet. Waterlily nodded and climbed up the sand. This wasn't where she thought she would be a year ago. She had dreams of making it through the river and meeting interesting turtles. He was just so charming, that pepperoni. How would she know that the man was just completely blind to everyone around him? The kids, they turned Waterlily's insides. Half the time, she could not love them more, and the other half she wishes she never dropped their eggs.
I can understand that.
I get it.
She found herself at the edge of the beach. Now, children, this is grass. If you see anything scary, always run to the tallest grass you can find and then hide in your shell. Elijah nodded without hesitation, but Tishbite looked concerned. Something scary? Like what? Like a fox or a raccoon or even a bird. She yelped. They have those on land? Why did you bring us here, Mommy? You'll see. Waterlily reassured them, just as giant feet stepped over them. Waterlily looked up, horrified to see humans. Elijah panicked and hid in his shell. Tishbite looked up in awe. What are humans? Elijah, Tishbite, back to the river, now! Tishbite shook her head clear and scuttled back down to the bank, but Elijah remained in his shell. Waterlily turned and ran the opposite direction, yelling to her young, Run! Run back to Daddy! The human bent down and picked up Elijah. Perfect! A hatchling! Painted turtle!
A hatchling! Painted turtle!
Waterlily faked a limp, hoping to look more enticing for the humans. The human walked towards Waterlily and picked her up too. Damn it! Waterlily forgot that humans have two hands.
Oh, shit.
You must be Mommy! Waterlily began to panic as the human tilted her and checked her bottom, but was quickly relieved when the human put her and Elijah together in a small plastic terrarium. Hey, Paul! The human called to her friend. Yo! Paul emerged from the trees.
Sound like? Yo, bruh!
Paul emerged from the trees eating a sandwich with the wiltiest lettuce you ever did see.
Classic.
Despite her predicament, Waterlily couldn't help but salivate.
I mean, I don't blame her.
I do not.
Hey, stop eating that. That's for our specimens. Calm down, Steph. We brought in plenty of this delicious wilted lettuce. Paul approached Steph and dropped some slimy, nutritious, wilted goodness into the terrarium. Waterlily couldn't help herself and gobbled her fill before even introducing the treat to her son.
Ew. I mean, he's so lucky.
She's so lucky.
They're all so lucky. Especially Steph. She's been to Harvard.
Waterlily burped and nudged the remainder towards Elijah. Here, try it, but save some for later. Sirens suddenly blared, and Steph and Paul jumped. Shit, fuck, Stephanie! They found us! Did Stephanie and Paul fight their way off the beach, or did they make a run for it?
Who's got us?
the cops, I guess.
I was like, what are we doing? We're eating lettuce and
fight?
touching turtles.
I don't know. Let's see. So
I think they gotta
fight
fight.
their way off the beach.
Yeah, I
make a run.
want to fight some shits.
Wanna fight?
Yeah.
Paul quickly scanned for an escape route when Stephanie yanked him by the shoulder. Not this time, Paul. This time we fight.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
The sun glinted off the polished chrome of her revolver as she pulled it from her waistband.
Yeah.
Paul took a deep breath and nodded, pulling from his own waistband an Uzi.
How'd they miss that?
He removed a long clip from his vest and fed it into the handle of the piece. Multiple car doors slammed one after the other as Paul and Steph faced their future head on.
Why did you think it's a turtle?
Because future and turtle look kind of like the same thing.
Whatever you say. Where's Megan?
All right, I don't know.
I'm right here.
I hope she's a cop.
Maybe she's in the river.
All right, so Paul and Steph faced their future head on. Stephanie yanked his shoulder again and pressed her lips against his. Waterlily covered Elijah's eyes.
Help!
Oh man, okay.
We're married. It's fine, Waterlily.
I don't know. I'm not sure what language this is.
Oh shit.
Mi vasuk okruzili. Yeah. One human shouted into a loudspeaker and added in a thick accent, "Return the essence." Steph tossed Paul a pair of wraparound shades and he slid them over his eyes. His hair was speckled in the summer sun and his neck was burning.
Oh.
No, he whispered and fed the first round into the chamber. He sprayed half his clip.
Loaded?
He sprayed half his clip into the thick brush, and Steph uttered her famous Snagglepush impression. Exit, stage left. As she sprinted to the left.
What?
Paul paused and listened. Dermoo! He heard the groan of a wounded woman and turned to empty his clip in her direction. The bullets hit only metal, and Paul grimaced as he found another meal for his hungry sidearm. Do you want to see what Steph is up to, or do you want to finish Paul's part in this?
I mean, I sound way cooler than Paul. So.
Yeah, the Snagglepuss impression really sold how cool you are.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
Paul's like a little baby. He doesn't even know it's fighting time.
Right. Stephanie knew the turtles held the key to ending this red menace.
Yeah.
Oh, they're Russian. Okay. There we go.
Unless she's just talking about how much we're shooting at each other. And
Yeah, maybe.
probably.
Or they're sunburned.
Yes, we're sunburned.
Unfortunately, she wasn't the only one who knew. She held the terrarium and searched desperately for stowaways. The old outhouse was the best she could find as she heard Paul's second assault. Out of time, she whispered, and carefully set the turtles on the liquid shit down the chute.
What?
What?
What is happening? I'm putting the turtles in a toilet?
It sounds like it.
These are shit.
I'm so sorry. I'll be back for you, I promise. She jumped from the bathroom and unsheathed her 8-inch tactical knife from her shin.
Yes!
She scanned her surroundings and sprinted towards the noise. Sweat made her knife slippery, but she's trained for this. The Watcher has been training her for this for nearly 30 years.
Oh my god.
She moved without regard for noise as the soldiers would be distracted by Paul's rain. I guess my rain of bullets.
I know.
Okay. The stupid red-brimmed officer's cap gave away the squad leader, and without slowing down, Steph lifted her hand cannon and fired one into his temple.
Yeah.
The other soldiers couldn't even react as she jumped from the trees into the fray, screaming. If you were to ask Steph now what happened at that moment, she would not be able to answer you. The Watcher had taken over as she promised all those years ago, and when she had finally relinquished her control, Stephanie had found herself with her own AK-47 and 8 dead soldiers arranged around her like rays from the sun.
Dang.
I am amazing.
So now you can go to page 9, unless you want to check out what Paul did, then go to page 8.
I want to know what Paul did.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't feel bad, okay? The Watcher's been training me.
Yeah.
Don't fucking shoot, Paul! Paul's eyebrows arced over the sunglasses as he heard Stephanie fire a single round. All he heard was gargles and screams, followed by much louder weaponry. Then he heard the engine of a motorcycle just to the right. Stephanie can handle these grunts, but if the cavalry has been called... Paul ran through the woods, passing the orgy of blood without a second glance. 3 bikes were speeding down the road, and they meant business.
Oh.
Paul touched the bridge of his sweet shades and tossed them to the road so he could stare eye to eye with the leader of the bike brigade.
Ooh,
The
God,
leader-
I hope it's Megan.
The leader sped toward him, running over his glasses, which exploded under his wheel, throwing him and his 2 friends to the ground.
Oh, it's not.
It was a huge explosion, just enough to upend the bikes and their riders. Paul calmly walked to the nearest rider and gave him a few bullets. Then he walked to the next and gave him the same.
That's cold.
Finally, he approached the dazed leader. Who do you work for? Zachnis. Zachnis. Is that a new player in all this? Paul was confused. He had never heard that name before. The biker laughed and spit at Paul. Zachnis means shut up, you idiot.
We told you to shut up.
Dang.
You're going to wish it was a name after I'm through with you. Paul took out an ugly candle. The rider went pale. Is that? Hell yeah, it is. Paul took a match from his lips that he totally had since he entered the story. No, don't light Henry, please.
Oh my God.
Paul clapped his hands and laughed, squatting over his enemy. He put the candle on his chest. Finally, you grow some brains. Now who do you work for? He looked at the candle and at Paul's match, then back to the candle and began to cry. I can't tell you. Please, please shoot me. Paul shook his head sadly and struck the match on the rider's zipper. It flared
Ew.
brilliantly, and he's probably wearing like a leather jacket, not like his crotch zipper.
It's like, this is a real bold move.
It flared brilliantly and then calmed to a small yellow flame. Please, no Henry, ask anything else. He openly wept. I don't know who pays me. Paul slapped him. Yeah, I don't know.
I
Look,
like it.
I don't know. Paul slapped him across the face. Listen, you better start knowing soon, otherwise you're going to get to know Henry here. No Henry. He shook his head and sputtered between the tears. Paul sighed and met the match toward the wick. The rider never thought he would meet anyone so heartless, and in shock he gasped. He looked to Paul's face, quivering. Paul stood up and flicked the spent match at the rider, walking back towards Steph, leaving the candle.
That's fucked up.
Paul waved as he jogged towards Stephanie. He stopped short upon seeing her work. What happened here? Steph closed her eyes and took a long breath. The Watcher. Paul took a cartoonishly loud gulp. Well, where are the turtles? Steph's eyes shot open. I left them in the shit house. Ew. Stephanie turned, run back to the wooded areas, and Paul followed close behind. She knew exactly where the outhouse was and found it without problem. The birds and wildlife were silent as the two approached the pungent structure. This concerned Paul, and he held his gun at the ready. The door creaked as Stephanie opened it and peeked inside. Shit! Yeah, I know, Steph. That's what you usually find in a toilet. Did Stephanie mean shit like a noun? Or did she mean shit like an exclamation?
An exclamation. That's what I think.
Is that a choice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I agree.
No, Paul, they're gone! Stephanie burst from the outhouse and immediately started searching for tracks and spent shells, for anything to point them in the right direction. Paul quickly put his gun away and began to help. You two. Stephanie threw a knife toward the voice, and Megan caught it like they do in anime with their teeth.
Yeah.
It was cool. Looking for
Yeah.
this? She asked between clenched teeth and held up a stinky terrarium. Paul sighed. You shouldn't scare us like that, Meg. It's fine. Stephanie can't really throw anyway.
Oh, you bitch!
Stephanie stood up and scowled. We got what we came for. Where's our ride? This way. Follow me. Megan marched to the east, and before too long, they came across a pile of leaves beside the road. Megan put up her hand, and suddenly, we're not alone.
Take the knife out of your mouth, Megan.
A man in a balaclava and an AK-47 inspected the pile of leaves, poking it a little with his gun. I got this. Megan sprinted straight for the man who was distracted. Then he finally noticed her. He leveled his gun to fire, but Megan spit the knife out and lodged it into his chest.
Oh, shit.
He deviled back, but stayed on his feet. Megan closed the gap and did a jump kick right into the knife, plunging it deeper into his chest. Woo! That's how it's done!
Oh, my God.
It's like he knows all of us. Right?
Paul and Stephanie walked towards the leaves and cleared them from the 3 jetpacks they had stowed away. You ready, little guys? Paul asked Waterlily as they flew off. I'm not exactly sure what they did with those turtles, but you can rest assured that America was saved that day. The end.
Damn.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
I'm concerned about little girl turtle.
Yeah, where's little girl turtle?
Oh yeah.
But she went back to
Just
daddy,
alone?
maybe?
Yeah.
I think she'd be too stupid to actually do it.
Well, we can go see what might have happened otherwise.
What if, first...
Well, first we can see what would happen if they went to the river.
Well, yeah, but then also shit as just a noun.
Oh, shit is a noun, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can close that loop. On your mind.
Now that we're involved, I really want to hear all of it.
Now you're invested in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
But I'm sad about pepperoni.
Yeah.
Stephanie chuckled. It's a pretty funny joke, though, right? Yeah, Paul sighed, feeling like they weren't alone. Real funny. Stephanie emerged from the outhouse with a stinky terrarium with 2 turtles. She smiled at Paul. The ground met Paul's knees suddenly as they were kicked out. Oof! He rolled over to see Stephanie on the ground, silent. The quiet whir of a hard drive spinning could be heard as a figure decloaked on top of Paul. Thanks for the specimens. Paul tried to raise his gun, but the figure was standing on his wrist. That won't do. She removed her mask. Megan? She shifted her weight and broke Paul's wrist. Until next time, she put her mask back on and shimmered in the light. Gah, why? Why? I'm not 100% sure what happened to Waterlily and Elijah, but I wouldn't expect anything good.
Oh,
the end.
Megan,
oh, no.
You are crazy.
Double cross. How dare you?
You got cloaking technology?
Yeah.
Megan sounds badass on her wall.
Well, she is Hollywood.
Yeah, that's true. You got access to things us normal folk don't have. Us country bumpkins.
Total access.
Okay, so...
Pulling all the strings over here.
The 2 choices we haven't done are asking Daddy what you should do or going to the river instead of the beach.
Go to the river.
Yeah.
The water was calm, but there were a lot of humans, most of them loud and some still, on the beach. Children, remember, we are better swimmers than we are runners, so it is always safer in the water. Tishbite nodded, and Elijah looked to the beach, distracted by the laying humans. Right. Elijah, pay attention. Come along. Waterlily led her children down the river, telling them about all the plants and fish they encountered, sharing her knowledge with them. This was the first time she'd been able to spend any alone time with her children. The day prior, she felt she was wasting her life, being tethered with the family, but for the first time, she felt fulfilled.
Ah.
As if a strange hole she was unaware of was suddenly patched. Tishbite asked questions about everything, and Elijah huddled close. Mama, I'm hungry. Elijah interrupted his mother. She explained how dragonflies got it on. You are? Me too, Tishbite agreed. Well, want to go hunting for crawfish? Yeah, the children agreed. Waterlily laughed and explained to her children. First, we need to find the still shallows. Waterlily showed her children the best way to trap and catch crawfish. They made her so proud as she saw them progress much faster than she expected. This is nice. Nice. Waterlily had never felt quite this nice. She considered returning to Pepperoni, but wondered if he would still be inconsiderate and immature. She knew she would return to Pepperoni before too long. He just needed to learn his lesson. Kids, come close. The little turtles laughed and splashed each other, their bellies filled with crustacean, and they returned to Waterlily. She smiled and calmly said, I have a question for you. Okay. They both smiled up at her.
The answer's yes!
Shall we go back to Daddy and Garglock? Yeah! They laughed some more. Or should we adventure for one more day and then go back? Yeah! Elijah nearly jumped out of the river. Let's got back to Daddy, Tishbite whined. Waterlily didn't plan for this contingency. So do you want to go back or have another adventure?
I feel like she needs to miss it. Because right now, she's like, I could get along without fucking Pepperoni, whatever.
I don't know, but I'm curious, like, to see if he has learned a lesson or not. I mean...
Yeah.
Sophie's choice.
Also, Paul's Waterlily voice reminds me of... Stephanie, do you remember in Milo and Otis, like, the French pug?
Yes.
What? Do you remember her name?
No.
She's like, it's French. I don't remember what the name is. Well, if anyone remembers the female French pug's name from Milo and Otis, just write to us.
At one of our various,
outlets.
Yeah. All right, let's go see if he learned a lesson.
Tishbite is right. Let's go back. Waterlily turned around and both her young followed. Elijah didn't protest. He just lazily swam back. Waterlily didn't waste the opportunity to teach the hatchlings about all she knew of the river. The sun nearly set, and both Tishbite and Elijah were riding on Waterlily's shell. And then the male fish sprays his semen over the eggs. And look, we're here.
It's nasty.
Pepperoni gasped as he saw his family approach. He sheepishly swam to his turtle wife. Daddy! The young ones yawned in unison. Hi, kids. Go see Uncle Garglock. He'll put you to bed. Elijah and Tishbite nodded and slid off Waterlily toward their uncle. After they left, Pepperoni turned to Waterlily, his eyes wet. Waterlily, I'm so sorry. I wasn't listening. Shh. I never listen. I'm always so focused on what I want that I forget that others have needs in our family. Pepperoni, it's okay. And Garglock told me that if I don't start being attentive, that I'll lose you, Waterlily. I don't want to lose you. I want to be with you for the rest of our lives. Pepperoni. So, 5 more years or something. That's more than enough time to have another clutch of young. Pepperoni. Do you think Pepperoni Jr. is an appropriate name for the second son?
Pepperoni!
I've always liked the name Henry, too, though. Pepperoni! Pepperoni stopped. Oh, man. I did it again, didn't I? Yes, but it's okay. You just need to try, all right? Pepperoni nodded. Yeah, I'll try. I promise. The two turtles swam back to the quiet reeds, and Pepperoni added, My story was better, though. Yeah, but only because they didn't pick the really weird paths in mine. Pepperoni nodded. That's fair, but they refused to deviate from their chosen path in my story. There was some strange stuff happening. I wonder what Garglock's story will be like, Waterlily mused.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Nah, I doubt anyone wants a Garglock story.
No!
Garglock is the best! I
Mary...
want Paul to have to do that voice for an hour.
Yeah.
Marriage isn't exactly hard, but it isn't exactly easy either. If you're unwilling to be the best spouse you can be, then it just won't work. The end.
I think that's the canon ending, so.
Oh, okay. Not us jetpacking off and saving America, Stephanie?
But a couple of turtles reconciling.
Yeah. I want their marriage to work, okay? I love pepperoni more than I love myself.
Well, that was awesome.
I love pepperoni.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you, Sean, for including us in your adventure.
For writing 3 stories for us, which is bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've all been amazing so far, and we totally desperately want a Garglock story.
If we don't get a Garglock story, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, on our desk. Come on.
I'm gonna throw a bunch of blades at you with my mouth if you don't write
I'm
it.
gonna puke crawfish all over you.
I'm gonna make a Henry candle.
Oh god. Ugh.
Thank you, Sean. It was really a great story. If you haven't seen it before, please go check out at Star Trek Post It, where you can see some delightful Star Trek related drawings. And if you would like to email us any of your pepperoni fan art
or your own stories,
or your own stories, you can email us at strangepathspodcast@gmail.com.
or if you'd like to tweet the pepperoni fan art, you can tweet it at Strange Path Pod on Twitter.
Or if you want to email me weird pictures of turtles or candles or whatever you
Or
want.
us being
Or
weird
mouse
commandos.
semen.
Mouse jizz.
Mouse semen. You can do so at bozosglowglobes@gmail.com.
All right.
So hard to say every time.
Well, you picked it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.